vibing on the intro today. Love it. Big wins for Villanova and Michigan State just before we hit the old go live button. And we're hoping for a big win on this 10-game Saturday main slate as well. Mike joins me to break it all down right now, recording live from somewhere. This is One and Done.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the co-pays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by DrRoto.com.
It's time once again for everybody to come aboard that one. I still can't stop getting green screens media. That one and done train. Oh, hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Welcome to One and Done. Bienvenidos a todos a One and Done, your fast break of college basketball información. We are powered by the galaxy's greatest website. That is DrRoto.com. I'm your sometimes humble host. My name is Jay Heinrich. I'm the conductor of the aforementioned One and Done train. Find me on X at Dr. William Cannon. I'll hit the follow back button because I'm a follow back girl. I am a follow back girl. Okay, anyways, enough of me. Let's get to him. El Capitan himself, the captain of the green screens media ship that will steer us through the choppy waters that I create. At MC Holland 34 on X, the OG of the OGs of all money mics, Mr. Mike Holland. Mike, what it do?
Bro, that open was fierce, along with the countdown music, which came out of left field, along with how crazy this slate is going to be. Like it all works together, man. So like that was a beautiful open there, Jay, because it's going to dive right into this madness that we're going to go into the slate, man. But yeah, excited, man. It's been a up and down last couple of weeks, so looking to really get back on track. And the live chat is fired up as Cam's also agreeing with a rough couple of days here in the CBB streets, hoping to get back on track. Jason B saying some crazy games out there. Forklift out there. What's up, Forklift Jeremy? And then man, we got looks like a new chatter in here, Jay. Michael Peterson, first time live. Let's get it.
What's up, Mike?
Yeah, another OG Mike. There you go. And then Isaac. We haven't seen Isaac in a minute, so.
Yeah,
that remix open.
Isaac's been around for a long time, and yeah, that's a brand new intro there out of nowhere. Sometimes those are the best types of shows. Darren checking in as well. What's up, man? Good to see you, Darren. Hop in the live chat, and to do that, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button while you're hanging out with us. If you're over on X, we appreciate you watching us, taking us in however you want, but make sure you get over to YouTube. One and Done College Basketball is what you need to type in over there. Find us, hit all the buttons, like, subscribe, notification bells. Because if you do, you get to see my face, you get to see Mike's face, you get to see sometimes our guy Eric the Blue, who's pushing buttons tonight at Fantasy Nav in those Twitter streets. And then our guy CC Hustle doing things behind the scenes on the socials, doing his thing at The Real Napier, of course. But the most important thing to follow on all the socials at One and Done CBB, anywhere that you can find social media, basically. YouTube, we're on YouTube. TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky. Shout out Blue Sky. And then, of course, Twitter at One and Done CBB. Bellyball, good to see you in the live chat right now. Bellyball, didn't Bellyball have a nice finish?
Bellyball was in that money on the last One and Done Invitational.
He sure was, and I think I saw him near the top of some leaderboards and some other contests as well. So good to see Bellyball in the live chat. Join him. Join all the guys and gals that sometimes hop in there. Hit that subscribe button and get in there. And we also want you to get into the One and Done Invitational for Saturday morning. We're going to have that link in the description over on YouTube and drop it in the live chat really soon. You know, we like to have a nice invitational
friendly
amongst our friends. So make sure. Oh, there it is. It's already in the live chat right there. So if you want to hang out with us, it's what we're gonna have 30 people in the contest, something like that. So get over there.
30 people. It's
been filling up. So get over there and hang out with us. We'd love to play with you over there on DraftKings. One other thing here, Mike, and we appreciate some of y'all that have reached out and have talked to us about this, Jeremy and Cam and a couple of the other guys. Like, if you want to flex your muscle, right, as a certified breadhead here on One and Done, hit us up on Twitter or drop us a comment. We'll get you the One and Done avatar to rock on DK. if you want it, let us know. We'll bring it to you. You could rock it on DK, show it off as you get this bread and see those green screens. Good stuff, everybody. Let's get to this slate finally, Mike. A 10-gamer, noon Eastern. Oh, man. Got a couple of big ones. The 39th and 40th seat right there. And then 5K to first as well. So a big day on a Saturday, Mike. What are your thoughts? Get a little quick overview here on this slate.
As we get Scott and Corey jumping in here. What's up, fellas?
Hey, guys.
My thoughts, I've kind of already teased it, but I was looking at the slate like Thursday, I kind of track what's going to be on the slate from KenPom, and I think I texted you guys late on Thursday or early Friday. I was like, this is going to be one of those slates that's going to get pretty ugly. So, and what do you know? All 10 games that I thought were going to be on there are actually on this slate, and you only have 2 totals north of 150, 5 of them below 140. We don't have any of the big time studs. That seems to be kind of a trend right now with no Broom, Kalkbrenner, Braden Smith, Cam Jones. That was obviously tonight's slate. Raynaud's not there, but you got 10 guys over 9K, and they're kind of max price. Like you look at Toppin's at his max price, Tanji's max price, Garcia's right at his max price, Baldwin's back up to his max price, and the value is. We're going to have some news that we're tracking, a couple of injuries that we're looking at, and there's a couple other things we'll talk about that make it feel slightly comfortable. But as of a kind of a first look the night before, looks pretty messy, man. So these are the type of slates I like, though. So I'm looking forward to diving into these 10 games, man.
Cam saying like you're not a big fan of it, right? And I get it. It's one of those things where you got 10 games up there and you got this level of prizes. We're going to be talking about it. Like Jason, I don't know if we can make you like this slate. Maybe we can make you like hanging out with us a little bit more because we're cool guys.
Chill guys.
Maybe Mike. I don't know about me. Afternoon slate a little bit more fire. All right. Well, we are hitting on that main slate, locking at noon Eastern Standard Time. Michael, way to hop in that contest, my man. Good stuff. Let's keep it rolling. Keep the live chat happening. Hit all those socials. Do your part in the one and done universe as we now hit the rundown for the show, 10 gamer, and we're going to start with a stinker, and not just because it's in College Station. Okay, Tennessee on the road at Texas A&M, a 127-point implied total according to Ken Pomeroy's metrics.
Slugfest.
All the metrics that we drop on this show are Ken Pom. We love us some Ken Pom. So you might see the line that's down there that might not look what it looks like on your book, but these are Ken Pom's metrics, and that's how we do this show. So Tennessee, 64 implied points in this one as 1-point favorites on the road, according to Ken Pom. We've hit on this a lot this year, Mike. Tennessee, after speeding up a little bit last year, they're back to their slower than molasses ways, 345th in tempo. So anybody's a pace up, even Texas A&M, who has 239 as their ranking in tempo. So if you want to call that a pace up, it's anyways. Texas A&M, what they do well is play defense, right? So that's going to be tough on Tennessee. There's a reason why this total is so low, belly ball. Exactly, 127. Oof is right. So what do we got to look for here? We got to try to look for some advantages if we wanted to get into this one at all. Tennessee is going to get an assist boost here because the Aggies are giving up a 72% assist rate in SEC play. So some dimes will be there to be had. And we also like that Tennessee is 316th in bench minutes used. That's at least worth 1 thumbs up. Yeah, okay, there we go. 1 thumbs up there for Mike. So anything on this side, I would imagine it would probably be the guards, if anything.
Yeah, and really just the one. Ziegler, 9,400. Kind of like what I talked about in the overview, right? Like it's max price Ziegler. This total sucks. Now, he played well against them twice last year. He almost triple-doubled in one of the games last year. He's going to play 38 to 40 minutes. And for that, then just for that reason, right, it feels like a contrarian tournament play. And you're kind of, you're praying, right? You're praying that you get something like 14 points, 8 boards, and 11 dimes or something. But man, like everything has to go right. Kind of living on the crazy side when you're doing that. I don't even know if I'm going to get that crazy. He's really the only guy, Jay. I mean, Chaz Lanier, like 7,800 on the road, shot dependent. Like, no, there's like, I'm not playing Milicic. I'm not playing Lanier. Like, I'm not playing any of these guys. And really, like, I don't know that I'm going to get to anything in this game, man. What about this A&M side?
Yeah, we know Tennessee plays all the defense in the world, and A&M plays 40,000 guys. So that doesn't exactly lend me to want to involve myself with any Aggies at all. The only things that hold true for this Aggie team is that Taylor and Phelps are going to get the minutes and they're going to get the shots. So do you have interest in either one of them?
Jason B saying Wade Taylor the fourth at 7,300 against Tennessee, number one ranked defense of efficiency. I mean, they're gonna allow you to shoot over the top of them. It's just teams don't really make a high percentage of shots. We know Wade Taylor and Jarek Phelps are gonna chuck. So in a tournament, like, yeah, this is the type of slate you could play someone like Wade Taylor against the number one defense. I don't know that I'm gonna click the button, especially when Jarek Phelps is $800 cheaper. Like, you're kind of getting the same shot volume, the same assist rate. I know the minutes aren't as secure with Jarek Phelps, but you need like max production and on every possession for both of these teams, and it has to go through the one guy because there are not going to be a lot of fantasy points being distributed throughout this one, man. So yeah, the next game is obviously the biggest total, so we should probably not talk about this one anymore. So maybe as the Kai Ziegler, if you're in the large field, there's like 1,600 teams, maybe a Wade Taylor. But yeah, for the most part, we can just cross this one out. Yeah, Belly Ball's on the money, man. They should, and even if they were all $500 cheaper, I don't know that it even excites me that much. Now, if you get to 1,000, obviously,
yeah, but knowing that though, Ziegler's not going to be owned.
There's no way.
He's not going to be. So
especially with the guys around him.
but again, like, how do you get different and win one of these big tournaments? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Is it get different and have a pay up for Ziegler when nobody else does? Because if it does fall his way, like you said, Mike, we've seen him have big games against the Aggies before.
Yeah.
But on the most part, we're probably not recommending too much in this game. I recommend never going to College Station for anything, honestly. But that's just my own personal opinion. Where I will recommend that you go is BracketBids.com or to the BracketBids app for a new approach to March. A new partner of ours. We are so happy to join up with BracketBids, and what they are going to do is provide you with an experience that you probably haven't had before, which is you can do the pick'em for free. You can do pick'em contests over on BracketBids for free if you want. Where it gets a little bit different here, you do auction drafts. So let's say Auburn, right? Auburn, pretty much far and away right now, looking like the best team right here. You would get $1,000 worth of BracketBids bucks, right? To try to outsmart your opponents in the league to try to draft the best teams possible that make the tournament. And the ones that make it the farthest will help you win, of course. So, choose from multiple scoring models, including upset bonuses that reward those bold picks that we like. You're going to track the teams in real time with the scoring. You got 40,000 screens up anyway. You might as well have another one that has all your BracketBid stuff on it. The further your teams advance, the higher you climb in the league standings. So again, all of that said, once you get over to BracketBids.com or download the BracketBids app, use the promo code BREAD at checkout for 40% off of your league activation fees. So invite all of your friends, all of your enemies, all of your frenemies, all of the people that you're in a rap battle against, whatever it might be, get them into your league at BracketBids and use the promo code BREAD for 40% off of your activation fees. Yeah, give me a hug. Yeah, big week for Mike and other Drake fans. They needed
Let's
it.
Move on. Let's move on.
Man, the live chat is rolling. Keep it going. Oh, Peanut Butter Posse. What are you guys doing? Talk about the kitties yet? Cats need the dogs. Oh, here we go. Darren E. talking about his back-to-back double-double. Darren loves him a double-double bonus. He'll always going to go for that double-double bonus for sure. So good to see Darren. Hey, Ryan. There he is. Ryan hopping in there with the old fire emoji. That's our friend Ryan right there. So make sure you hop in the live chat and make sure you get over to BracketBids.com or the BracketBids app and use the promo code BREAD for 40% off of your activation fees. Game 2, Mike, on this 10-game slate. Oregon traveling to Wisconsin, as T-Pain would say, and 155 points is that total. Our friend Mr. Brooks is very high on the Badgers, apparently, and he might also be just very high in general with that statement. But Oregon, let's start on the Oregon side. Mike, 73 implied points in this one. A couple of teams that get plenty of possessions here in this game. And we know the Badgers play pretty solid defense, but they're not going to turn you over a bunch. So Oregon should get some shots up here. I don't know, man. Biddle, there we are. We're talking about Biddle here right after Darren E. brought him up on this one. I know we liked him as a GPP play the other night against Iowa, and it worked out. You see that 47 burger right there on the screen. What I don't like as much is the $1,200 increase in price up to $8,600. That's not exactly. I don't need max price Nate Biddle necessarily, especially because we know he's capped at like 28, 30 minutes, right? So we've seen the 40+ fantasy point upside, obviously. So got to be in turning consideration here. But I don't know, man.
That's a big price tag for him.
I never like paying for guys on this much of a price increase,
Yeah. Well, we got to get used to it on this slate.
No kidding. We're gonna have to just bite that bullet and take it. What about my guy Shellstad, man? I mean, this is a guy again who I like a lot. I like his game on the whole, but he can shoot them out of the game, and he almost did against Iowa.
Yeah, he almost did. Yeah, 0 for 7 from the field, 7,200. I still recommend it as an attorney play. I mean, $300 cheaper, 22% usage, a little bit of an assist rate, 16%, but they need him to be great. He has 30+ fantasy point upside. This is a nice game environment. I think he's kind of sneaky in tournaments, so I think I'll take a shot. Nothing crazy, right? But just something to kind of separate myself in tournaments, especially when you're kind of around that price point for sure. Keyshawn Barthélemy, say that 10 times fast. I think for me, man, kind of a large field option. Like, he plays 30+ minutes consistently. He dropped $600 from the last slate. I think he's kind of sneaky. He had 33 fantasy points against Northwestern, 30 against Michigan, 38.5 against Penn State, 29.5 against Maryland. Like, he can get up there if his shot's falling. The thing is obviously you have Shellstad and Biddle that like to dominate the ball, along with Bamba, who I'm not playing at 7,500. But yeah, I just think Keyshawn Barthélemy and Jackson Shellstad are just kind of interesting pieces on this Oregon side that could easily go for. It wouldn't surprise me if one of those guys hit 5x. So that's what I'm looking at on that side as a bring back option to. Obviously, some of these guys on the Wisconsin side we're going to want to play, and we'll talk about the guy that's crushing here in just a second. Jay, what do we got on this side?
Well, a lot of comments in the live chat about Blackwell, but we're going to start with Tanji first here and on Wisconsin. Oregon's not really stopping a ton of people, and they're also giving up a ton of threes. So 3-ball boost for the Badgers here. John Tanji, 9,800. Braden Smith at some point in the season is in that breath of top point guard in the country. And Tanji is now giving him a run for his money as Big Ten Player of the Year. Dude's been unstoppable. Like you said, Mike, we were going to talk about this guy who's just been killing it. And of course it's Tanji. 42, 47, 38 fantasy points in 3 straight games. So 9,800, again, another guy that I wish was $600 or $700 cheaper, but you get the big team total. He still makes him one of the better spend ups on the slate. And I think because you got the versatility that's worked into that game, it's enticing. We got to find it. We're going to be able to spend up on this one and get a guy that we want. And Tanji, he fits the mold, and if he's at least one of the ones that gets me itching a little bit to click that button at this price.
Yeah, he's like one of the spin ups that you're like, okay, I can do this and like not feel so bad about it. You click Ziegler's name, you're like, what am I doing? He's a great play. We got the chat talking about Stephen Crawl. You need the almanac to figure out what Stephen Crawl is going to do. He's definitely a GPP target, especially in this team total. 82 points. We know he's got some pop. He put up 41 fantasy points against Illinois in 28 minutes last game, and that's kind of the thing that Darren's talking about here. But now price is up $1,000. It's really hard to trust him because they like to play. They like to play bigs. Amos Gilmore off the bench. You got Winter right next to him, so Like the chase and crawl is like one of the scariest things you can say in DFS. I mean, I'm with I think who's talking here. Cam's talking about Blackwell and his ownership, and he's going to be super popular. So here's the problem: is that I don't think Tanji is going to grab as much ownership at a max price, because Blackwell's sitting here for $3,500 cheaper, and it's not like he doesn't have near equivalent type rates. I mean, I think I was almost 100% on Blackwell on the last slate, and he had 33 fantasy points. So, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things, man. Like 4x for Tanji at 9,800 is 40, which he put up last time. And Blackwell, 33 fantasy points is over 5x. So could you play both? You could, especially in this type of team total. Jackson Shellstad's going to have to guard somebody on this team. I'm sure they'll try to hide him on Klesmit or something. So I don't know, man. These two guys are just so awesome together. And I'm going to have one or the other. Maybe a lineup in the large field with both of them in there. So yeah, Belly Ball saying good chalk to me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably going to be on the 100% again, close to it on John Blackwell. It's just he takes too many shots for him to.
Well, with a total like this, can you do that? Can you double up with Crawl and Blackwell and then reach across for Barthélemy and really try to get a little bit another foot into this game?
Yeah, and I think that's different in a large field tournament for sure, or Shellstad. Honestly, or you could play Blackwell with Corral and run it back with Biddle. I mean, yeah, there's so many. This is the game, right? Like this is the total, right? I mean, there's only one other game over 150, right? So multiple pieces. We'll talk about these other games, but this is the one that we'll probably spend the most time on, obviously. And then some of these other pieces from Wisconsin, man, like I don't know, they're kind of annoying. I want to have my fixture on Tanji, Blackwell, maybe some Crawl if I don't get if I don't get too nervous at the last second.
This is the game to be a part of, or at least one of them. And you can find a way to just guess which one of those low total games is going to go over, or you can luck into something. But there's going to be some points scored in this one. And again, any one of these guys. Shellstad, man, like
Shellstad and Barthélemy are so sneaky on this slate. Like,
well, and I thought I saw somebody in the chat say that Shellstad wouldn't be. Oh, it was that same comment about Cam asking about Blackwell and saying that Shellstad will be low owned after last. Yeah, I think people will be off of him. The price decrease though does make him a little bit more attractive, so it might even itself out there. But we'll see. It's a game to definitely have some pieces in for. Sure. Let me take a swig of this real quick.
Yeah, got you, man, because you're gonna need it for this next Florida State.
There we go. Hey,
the chat thoughts on Florida State.
All right. First, before we get the chat thoughts on the Seminoles, hit the like and subscribe buttons, notification bells. If you're hanging out with us over on Elon's Hellhole, thank you for taking us in. However it is that you observe us on your viewing device, do us a big favor. Get over to YouTube, push all those buttons. Tonight we were at like 1371 when I logged in. It's pretty nice. It would be great to get to 1373 tonight. So if you're hanging out with us and you haven't hit that button yet, why don't you hit it? Hit a couple of you guys and gals hit that. We are at 1372 right now. Okay, give us another one. Let's get to 1373. And I just had the notification, the word in my ear. What's that? Yep. We're about half full on the DK Invitational already. So make sure if you want to hang out with us, just $3 entry fee. Everything goes for the winners. What does it pay? Top 5 usually, Mike, when it fills. Yep. So
top 5. Me and then 4 other people.
Oh, hey, look at him. Got that one in real quick, didn't he? Make sure you get over there. The link is in the live chat. If you're hanging out with us, scroll up and check that out. Oh wait, that's my not being able to see. And thank you to the producer for putting that in the show sheet that it's actually 1/3 full because I can't. I got to go to the doctor. Hey, Mr. Brooks, there's a link in the live chat. We'll drop it in again. Don't worry, we'll drop it in again. There it is, flashed up on your screen right there. We'll drop it in there for sure. So just find that, click on it, get over to DK, some friendly competition. Right there, Mr. Brooks. Thank you. Find that link. Boom. All right. Florida State and Louisville. Now we want to hear all your Seminole takes here. If you really want to. First matchup, Louisville won 90-76 on the road. Edwards and Hepburn both had nice games. And then Watkins had 25 points. And Ewan had 17, 2, and 3. Let's start with the Seminoles, Mike. 68 implied points on this side, 48th in tempo. We really like that. Louisville's not too shabby either, just outside the top 100. So, somebody's going to score some points in this game, some real-life points. Will it be Florida State? It's tough because they're kind of annoying, man. Like, it's just they use so many players, and it's just annoying. They could get absolutely annihilated here, man. Like, Louisville's a top 30 defensive efficiency team. Last 2 games, they've only given up 66 and 60 points. So when you talk about Florida State, Jameer Watkins is obviously that first guy that comes to mind, 8,400. You need Watkins to remember something here going into this one. If I'm paying 8,400 for Jameer Watkins, he's got to dig deep.
You need last year.
He's got to find that dog in him. Okay? Yeah, where's it been? We haven't seen the ceiling games, not as often. The 40-plus fantasy points, we haven't seen it. Not as often. I mean, when they're not getting – this is the problem, though. I said it a little bit ago. If they just get the brakes beaten off of him in this game, he's not going to get, into even the low 30s. That can't happen on this slate, not at 8,400. So I think Watkins probably just a GPP play here at this price. I don't know, man. It's tough for me to want to click that
side is so annoying. Like, I want to click his name in tournaments so bad, and I also want to click Malik. And I was on national radio with Doc. Shout out to Doc. I'll be on there tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on channel 87 with Dr. Roto tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on the East Coast. And he asked me who my favorite play on the tournament play is on the show, and I said Malik Ewan. So that's out there in the world. And now Malik Ewan staring at me again at 8,100 because for GPPs, both of these guys have massive upside, but yes, they can get absolutely rocked. I mean, they had to get back spot right against Miami. I'm not paying attention to that because everybody gets right against Miami. Me and you can go get some buckets against Miami, dude.
Yep.
But that debacle against Clemson, he played so well in that first game. Didn't do anything in the second game. But yes, he has 35 to 50 fantasy point upside when they don't get wrecked on. So, I mean, he had 17 real life points in the first matchup. So don't tell me it's not rebounding upside. Colin. Wow. There you go. Call in and roast my Malik Ewan. He will not be. I will not mention Malik Ewan tomorrow.
You sure?
But yeah, I'm sure. And then the rest of the squad, man, it's just annoying. Like, I'm not playing any of those other guys. Taylor Bowen, Daquan Davis, Chandler Jack. It's just like they're all rotating. You can't trust
value in this one.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we would looking at this Louisville total, Jay, 81 points, man. Like, this is a spot. But look at the prices.
Yeah, Terrence Edwards, absolute max price here at 8,900. He gives you that positional flexibility that we like, and he's played really well. Like, there's no doubting that. But he's just got to hit a lot of shots, like a lot of his shots. If he's out there shooting 35% from the field, he's got to hit a lot of shots, period. I don't know. The rates don't really sit well with me on this one, not at 8,900. Let's look for a positive here. Okay. Let's just go back the last time they played 41.25 fantasy points, but that's the ceiling, right, Mike? That's the ceiling. Are we gonna get the
ceiling?
And that's
he was like 6K in that game.
that's 4.5x.
Yeah, at this price.
Is that what? Yeah, right. So I mean, if that's his absolute ceiling, is that good enough to get you there? I mean, especially since we know that he lives in that 25 to 35 fantasy point range. It's just too tough, man. 6K, yeah, hell yeah. 8,900?
Yeah. I mean, he had that. We're not counting the Miami spot because everybody goes off against Miami. So, like, everybody gets 60 fantasy points against Miami. So, yeah, I mean, typically he's a 40 fantasy point ceiling. You cannot trust that. Like, you absolutely can't trust that. So, the problem with Louisville at 81 implied total, Jay, is that look at the price tags. Like Chucky Hepburn at 8,800. Does he have some tournament upside? A little bit. I just love him for cash. Like, You know he's going to get his shots. High assist rate, high steal rate, nearly doubled against them, but he's $9K. Javon Hadley's $8,200. He's up $1,000. So Rain Smith is $7,700. What are we doing?
He got right against Miami. I mean, like that's is that what we're paying for?
Yeah, we're just paying for these guys.
No, I'm not.
Absolutely destroying Miami. James Scott, 5,700. I think he's kind of interesting. Like he didn't do anything in the first matchup. But, you know, FSU front court's pretty tough, man. They're only giving up 47% from 2, and they've kind of continued that during conference play. Traore at 4,200, kind of a secondary value play. Like he's over a fantasy point per minute. The problem is he only plays like 13, 14, 16 minutes. So kind of an interesting stacking partner, Jay, if you can get a Chucky Hepburn or Terrence Edwards to go nuclear. But, man, like nuclear at these price tags is barely over 4x for these guys. And
there's different levels of nuclear, right? And we need like at this price, I need like 45, 48
right
to pay off. And if we know your ceiling is 42, you're gonna have a hard time getting me to pay up for that.
Which is
I'm not gonna be able
annoying.
to click that button.
No, I'm with you, man. Like gross, but awesome because like 81 total. So could one of those guys get there? Absolutely, but it's like you just have to close your eyes and pick which guys. And I think Chucky Hepburn's probably the safest to get there. I don't want safe.
All right. Good stuff on that game. You know, some of these plays might not be the most appealing, but I guarantee you somebody's going to pay max price for Terrence Edwards, right? Oh, Tom Brady. It's the jawline, isn't it? Look at that. Jawline right there. Tom Brady vibes. Good stuff. I'll take that any day of the week.
Jason.
Yeah, call in. Just roast this guy up and down Sirius satellite radio. What's the channel?
87
at 10 a.m. on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Eastern. Okay.
Yeah, you get to hear this beautiful voice.
Yeah. I mean the dulcet tones of Mike Holland and Dr. Roto at the same time, man. Like it's what
two
a killer
different vibes, man. It's like me and you, like
yeah, it's kind of like that. If we're being honest, I love it though. Mike's always good on the radio though. You should check him out and make sure you hit all those buttons. A couple more of you have actually. We're up to 1374 right now. Who's going to be 1375? Push it and let us know that you did it. We'd love to hear from you as well. Now we are about half full because it got typed out in the show sheet, and I didn't have to squint to look at a fraction so that I can actually read that it is half full on the invitational. So make sure you hop in there. The link's in the chat right now, and if you're watching later on, it's going to be in the description of the show. Okay, so make sure there it is. One and done invitational. We got about 15, 16 people in there right now. And if you want that one and done Abby that's right there that you see right on the screen, if you want something like that to show it off and show your, appreciation for all of the breadheads and everything that we do over here, and you just want to rock it, man, we would appreciate it. So let us know. Shoot us a message, and we'll get you that little one and done avatar. The show. Mike, do we have to go to TCU Cincinnati?
Yeah, I guess.
Fine. All right. I'm going to get 120. Oh my gosh. All right. I'll fight through it. TCU 61 implied points. So I mean, 85th in bench minutes. I mean, and since he's a top 25 defensive efficiency team, what are we doing, Mike? I mean, what are we doing?
I'm not playing a let at 7,600 and a 61 total.
Okay.
Noah Reynolds is $1,400 cheaper. 30 to 36 minutes, decent usage, decent assist. This is just a tough spot. Like the times that he's done well, it's been in pace-up spots. This is not that time.
This is the opposite.
I guess the guys that are cheaper, somewhat interesting for tournaments. Ernest Uday, he told me he's going to play 30 minutes. Like I would be interested, but honestly, I'm kind of taking a more wait and see approach. He had 28.5 against Tech, so that was in 32 minutes. But these guys are all volatile, man. You just don't know what's going to happen with TCU. David Punch sitting here at 4,900. They really want to develop him, man. He started the last 6 games. He's got some stock and rebounding upside, but only a 17% shot rate. He would need to be super efficient, and I don't think this is the spot. Now, Trezarian White had that game the other day. We loved him in the portal coming over from UNC Wilmington. He's 3,900. He woke up. Do I want to chase this? Yeah, I mean, talk about Darren's in here. maybe wanting to play the old chase on these cheapies. Posey, these are all large field tournament clicks, man. So I don't know, Jay. I'm much more interested in the Cincinnati side because we got some injury news that we got to pay attention to.
Yeah, we do. 68 implied points for the Bearcats, getting a 2-ball boost and an assist boost here because TCU really doesn't stop. It feels like Cincinnati should be able to go over here. I just don't. Yeah. TCU's not stopping anybody. But here's the deal: Lukosius is questionable. Obviously, that would condense the rotation significantly.
They're annoying
here. Yeah, exactly. So, make sure that you're checking the news. We'll try to get stuff out in the morning if we see it. It just sort of looks like a day-to-day thing, right? Nothing major on the pictures that they took, but it's a lot of pain. So we'll have to watch for Lukosius status for sure. Speaking of max price, we've been on max price quite a bit. The max price.
Max price is the safe word.
Oh, geez. Well, I feel in danger, honestly. Paying $7K flat for Jizzle James. I wish he was $6K. Honestly, you get the massive shot rate, big time assist rate as well, and he does profile okay against the old Horned Frogs. I don't know, man. 7K. I think he's in play for tourneys for sure. It's just, why is everybody $1,000? Everybody that I would want to play, man, is literally $1,000 more than I would want to pay. But there's some other options on this side, some cheaper options for sure. So I don't know.
You just don't know what's going to happen with Cincy because they're 85th in bench minutes. If Lukosius is in, it's here we go.
So if Lukosius is out,
it's going to help Jizzle. That'll help Day, elite backcourt names. Skillings, Cam's talking about.
Skillings, Cam was asking, yeah.
Yeah, Dylan Mitchell, he played 33 minutes last game. He could pop for 5 to 6x. Day Thomas, I would want Lukosius to be out. He has decent rates, but Bodego is kind of the same as Dylan Mitchell. But Skillings is kind of the guy that we have to talk about. He's 4,600.
He just has last time, and he just didn't have the game. It was just the wrong time. And I felt good about him last time out too, but he just didn't have it.
Yeah, that was the game before that. Last game was actually shocked. 25 fantasy points in 21 minutes. Right. And remember, it was that ugly West Virginia total?
Yeah.
And he did it, and some people went there. He only did it in 5 field goal attempts, but it feels better with Lukosius out. Obviously, he still didn't start. It was Josh Reed that started at 3,700. So, yeah, man, I'll have some Skillings exposure, especially if Lukosius is out. But even if Lukosius is in, he's kind of settled into this 16 to 20-minute role. And that's just kind of what he's going to do now. It seems like he's more efficient in that role than what he was playing, 25 to 28 minutes. So, yeah, if Lukosius sits also, you have to look at Josh Reed at 3,700. Played 24 to 28 minutes. All you need from one of these guys down here, and we'll talk about a few more of them, is 16 fantasy points. Could he get there? He could, but, man, this whole game is just kind of whoa. I don't know. I'm probably not getting to a lot of pieces of this one. I might take a shot on some Jizzle and some Skillings, but that's probably about it, man.
So Reed would start, right? If Lukosius,
he started the last game with Lukosius sat, yeah.
Okay. So obviously, if you do decide to pay up a couple of times, especially that's why it's so important to be on top of that injury stuff. And as soon as Lukosius gets that out designation, Josh Reed becomes a lot sneakier. Not sneaky, but a lot.
Play.
He becomes somebody to. Is it? Are you going to get it out of him? Are you going to get that 16 or 17? Who knows?
Yeah.
But something to consider, obviously.
Ugly game.
in the value. Well, a lot of ugly games, right? Like, what are we doing? 129 implied points on that one. At least we got a big old uptick on the next one, but not before we talk about the like and subscribe button. Hit them all. Notification bell so you don't miss a minute of our college basketball coverage. We're going hard a couple of times, 2-3 times a week, making sure that you're getting all the good info here. We're doing this for the Saturday main slates here. What's Michael saying in there? Tanji Blackwell and the Maybe squad.
Dude. Welcome to the slate.
I think it's going to be one of those things where we find ourselves, instead of
take a stand.
I was going to say, you're going to have to lock into something and make a choice and then build around it. We'll get to a core four later. We're going to give you some core plays later on in the show, but yeah, we'll see who's in that. If any of those guys are in that.
Darren. Max Price.
Shocking. Another Max Price guy. As it moves to that Mississippi State and Oklahoma matchup, 151 implied points here, according to Kemp Palmer's metrics. 75 of those to Mississippi State. Oklahoma hasn't exactly scared anybody with their defensive prowess during conference play either.
What happened, Porter?
Some boosts for Mississippi State here on that side, but only a couple of guys are guaranteed big minutes, Mike, unfortunately. Hubbard at 9K flat. Again, we're paying for a guy. Yeah, we're paying for a guy that got fat against a team that doesn't really stopped anybody. 42.5 fantasy points against the Aggies, and then we're paying $1,100 on the price increase here. OU is desperate, man. Like, they've not been good. Like, they have to get some wins here, and I don't know, dude. I don't know if I could do the price tag, the same price tag with like Hepburn, Edwards, Burton, Baldwin, who we're going to talk about later. Like, it's just one of those things. You talked about it earlier. Like, I'm looking in this. Am I really clicking 9K for Josh Hubbard?
Maybe.
Is he going to say hi? Like, listen, I mean, there's a reason we're paying this. There's a reason he's at this price. There's a reason that we got the boost. Is he going to stay on that heater? If you think Josh Hubbard stays on that heater and you pay up for him, then, again, 42.5, that's not even 5X. So I don't know, man. What do you think?
I should like more on the Mississippi State side, but then they play a lot of dudes. And the front court's kind of a mess. Cameron Matthews, like, he's a boom bust tourney option, but he can only take like 2 or 3 real life shots. So he would have to dominate the game with boards and stocks and then make a few of the shots, or somehow come up with 8 field goal attempts would be nice. RJ Melendez, I think, is kind of sneaky for tournaments. He got off to a fast start in that Aggie game. Then he cooled off. I had him on a couple of tournament lineups because a lot of people were playing. I was playing Kugel as well, but on the non-Kugel lineups that I would have, I think I went 75-25. I'd play RJ Melendez. He still took 11 attempts in 27 minutes. And how many guys that could realistically under 5K go for 20 real life points? And that's RJ Melendez. So I think he's an interesting large field tourney option. Michael was asking about some plays, Jay. I think we got some decent plays on the Oklahoma side, but I think on the Mississippi State side, like, I don't have a lot of interest in Hubbard based on the guys that are around him at that price tag. Cam Matthews, like, I'm not playing Kugel again. You just never know with him, man. It's just so volatile. I think Melendez on this Mississippi State side. Keyshawn Murphy's too max priced. Like, I just don't love it.
Yeah, obviously, I misspoke a little bit ago. A&M is pretty strong defensively, and Hubbard absolutely nuking them is impressive.
Well, he took like 20 shots against them. Was it last year? So he like loves playing them.
Yeah,
I don't know. Something about seeing that.
Some guys just like seeing other uniforms. You see something, and it's like, there was a team that I played back in my glory days. Glory days. There's just jerseys that you see that you're like, I'm stepping my game up for some reason. That gear kicks in, and that's who it is for Hubbard. It's A&M. It is impressive, but is it impressive enough to spend $9,000 on him?
Chat, you hitting 9K Hubbard?
Who's hitting Hubbard, or as Darren lovingly referred to him as, we'll just call him Double H there in the chat, homeless Hubbard. But How about the other side of it? You mentioned it, Oklahoma, 76 implied points. Mississippi State's another good defensive team on this slate. Jeremiah Fears, 7,600. Played well in that blowout loss to Florida. Almost a fantasy point per minute in that one. And we're paying for it. Another guy up 900 in this one. And we talked about it earlier. This is a desperate Sooner team, Mike. And they need Fears to be that guy that we saw him be earlier in the year. You know, we saw the 35 to 40 fantasy point upside. And the rates aren't too shabby. 28% usage, 27% assist, and a 3% steal rate. So 7,600 for Fears.
Take some
That's a
tourney
spend up
shots.
option on this side, if you will.
Yeah.
Anybody else a little bit lower down the totem pole?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll see a really good game from Oklahoma here at home, like implied for 76. I think we see some nice games here. I'm probably gonna have one Oklahoma piece on every lineup. Jalen Moore is 7,200. I think he's an interesting GPP target. He's got the number 2 role on here. Really good rates across the board. I just think he's interesting for tournaments. And I think Darren has really got it figured out, man. Duke Miles at 5,200. I think I'm going to roll the dice on some Duke in tournaments because he had the foul game last time against Florida, 6 fantasy points in 15 minutes. But before that, a couple of games playing 30 minutes in 2 straight. He has 30 plus fantasy point upside at 5,200. So I think I will be playing some Duke Miles. I don't fear playing Jeremiah, but lean Duke. Yeah, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play all 3 of these guys. I'm probably not touching Bryson Goodine like 4,100. He played extended minutes. It was a blowout against Florida. So like all he does is shoot the ball. And there's this other. I think he's more of a secondary value play. Yeah, man. I kind of like this OU side with Fears, Moore, and Miles. I don't know that I'm going to play 2 of them together.
Okay.
I could see playing Moore and Miles together, but I'm probably going to have one on every single lineup. So, yeah, I kind of like the OU side. Belly Ball saying no Hubbard for him. Yeah, it's just tough to pay that for him.
Good stuff. Keep the live chat rolling. Belly Ball. Always good to see Belly Ball in the chat as the show goes on for sure. Thanks for hanging out with us. You guys have been hanging out with us since we started tonight. We love that. We love the interaction. So make sure you keep the live chat rolling. Hit all those buttons. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Notification bells. If you haven't hit those things yet. And now let's move on to country roads take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country roads. It's been a while since I got a good one off like that. It felt good. West Virginia on the road. Another place that I don't recommend anybody goes, which is Lubbock, the armpit of America. Jeez, where these? It's not. The locations of these games on this slate is not exactly a who's who of vacation destinations. I promise you that much, at least not the ones in Texas. So Red Raiders have been playing really good ball, though, lately. And this is, despite that, this is only a 135-point implied total here. West Virginia, 62 of those, 329th in tempo, put me to sleep here against a Texas Tech team that's 33rd in defensive efficiency. Ugly team total on the road here for the Mountaineers. I think Small's a GPP play at 9,300. We didn't really play him against Cincy a few days ago in that ugly total, and he ended up with 25 fantasy points. So now he's on the road. Same spot. I mean, he's going to play all the minutes. Huge rates.
That's some attorney consideration for that. I mean,
yeah, alone, but a 62-point implied total here. And then when you have those Louisville guards, you've got Burton and Baldwin and Hubbard and a little more for Tanji. Like, it's tough for me to click on Small at that price.
and super
honestly,
contrarian.
And honestly, like anybody on this Mountaineer side, to be honest.
That's ugly. I mean, he kind of profiles like the guy's Ziegler. Like, he's just in an ugly matchup at max price. Like, I mean, we've seen Small at like 10K, so he's not max, but he's just in a terrible environment. Hansberry is the only other guy I'll mention, man. 7K, like, had a nice game. He smashed Cincinnati's front court for 37 fantasy points. Did not see that coming. If you're playing like 32 to 35 minutes, so I would be much more interested. He's kind of in that like mid 20s, like 25 to 27 minute type role. So yeah, I'm not interested in paying 7K on the road here at Tech. It's just kind of kind of annoying here, man. This Texas Tech side has a little more juice to it here, Jay.
Yeah, and despite that, we got to think about the fact that West Virginia is a top 20 defensive efficiency team themselves. So I mean, Texas Tech has been playing good ball, and with this sort of a total to pay 10.4K for JT Toppin, he's gonna have to get it all. He came back down to earth at TCU in 25 minutes. 32.5 fantasy points. That can't happen if I'm paying 10.4. But the previous three, obviously, you'd be happy with any of these tomorrow, 60, 71, 45, right in that range. I need him to get 50 here, Mike, to pay this off. And speaking of paying, don't you remember? I remember a few weeks ago when we were talking JT Toppin at 65, 6,600.
Yeah.
And those days are long gone.
Long gone. Darren likes Toppin.
Oh, yeah. All right. There we go. Toppin. Sound the horn. Slate breaker.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely some of the highest upside on the slate. Maybe
anybody else on the Texas Tech side, Mike? I mean, you mentioned Williams earlier.
Yeah.
A couple of guards, pivot. Maybe.
Yeah, this is a solid pivot. Williams obviously saving a ton of money off of Toppin, and he's a guy that can get to 40 fantasy points. McMillan's kind of a cash play. Christian Anderson at 5,300 is kind of cooled off. So, yeah, I'm playing some Toppin in tournaments for sure, and Darren Williams. So, McMillan and Anderson, probably not. Although I don't mind McMillan for a cash type setting. He's 7th in the country in effective field goal rate. He's really solid for them. But a much more enjoyable game on the next one. And the chat wants to know, Jay, if you like any place in Texas. And I actually know one place that you really like. It's about 90 minutes north of Austin. There, I believe it's Waco. Is that?
Oh yeah, where Mike's Baylor Bears play. Listen, I don't mind Waco actually. Waco's got some cool parks. They got the Brazos River runs through there. Waco's not horrible. Waco's grown on me a little bit. They got the Dr. Pepper museum over there. It's okay. Waco is okay. Outside of that though, Eric heard incorrectly in the live chat. I am not fond of Lubbock. I'm a big hater. Okay, honestly, that just getting all the hate out of me tonight for all these tiny towns that would not even exist if there wasn't a college there, that sort of a thing. I'm just gonna get all of my hate. That's okay though. Ryan, I don't think you want to put the serenade on repeat too much, but thank you for the kind words. For sure, Waco has the cool light up green and the yellow bridge by the football. Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, that's the stadium that Robert Griffin built.
Okay.
I mean, okay.
I see what you're doing here. You're turning this entire thing around.
Let's move on. Like and subscribe, even if you stuck through that. If you stuck through Robert Griffin, you'll stick with us through anything, and we appreciate you for doing that. Penn State and Minnesota next up. 142 implied points, 70 of those to Penn State, who is 54th in tempo in the country. But unfortunately, their opponent is 359th. But the good thing is the Badgers don't play any defense. How bad are you? If your conference is the Big Ten and you're 17th in defense during conference play, that ain't good. Okay? So 3-ball boost for the Nittany Lions, assist boost for the Nittany Lions. So what do you know? You got an ace in the hole, Mike. Ace Baldwin, 9,200 here. Probably a cash game play, GPP. He's played well enough in the last two to get that price back up, creep back up a little bit. But he's not exactly blowing the doors off for this price tag outside of that Washington and Rutgers game in Big Ten play. So from a cash perspective, it's Ace is Mr. Cash, right? Because he's going to play all 40 minutes. You just know what you're going to get out of him. So if you're doing double ups, those sort of things, get Ace Baldwin into your lineup. And he's probably a pretty safe tournament option too, Mike.
Yeah, in the context of the slate, I guess he's kind of safe, right? Like we look at some of the spin up options, like, Yeah, Dimitri's got it, man. Appreciate jumping in there, Dimitri. Good luck to you as well, man. Stars and scrubs, yeah. I mean, for me, Jay, like I don't rock with Zach Hick, especially when he's max price. He's too expensive. Not chasing the 37 piece he put up on Nebraska there. Just too shot dependent for me. And he made 5 threes. So, like, no thanks. YKN, no, thank you. He absolutely crushed the mids at the beginning of the season. We all got all hyped. Obviously, he came over from Illinois. No, not for me.
Darren's chasing the double bonus.
Yeah, you chase that. He hasn't done anything in Big Ten play. So, Freddie DeLeon's there at 4,700. Now, Nick Kern didn't start. He got the start for him. 16 fantasy points in 31 minutes there for DeLeon. I think he's kind of an interesting. If he starts again, like him as like a safe tournament play at 4,700 or more like a cash double up type guy. Because some of these guys that we're going to recommend down here in the under 5K, it's like you probably put these guys in a tournament because it's scary matchups and different things that are happening. So if he starts again, I think you have to consider him for like you want to be at a safe small GPP, or you want to, or excuse me, a safe like small tournament, or you want to play him in a cash, then that'd be it for me, man. But not too much to love, except for Ace pretty safe as well. Some safe spots here on the Penn State side. This Minnesota side, though, man. Here we go. We're gonna have some plays we can recommend.
Yeah, we got a couple that we could talk about here on this side, and they'll benefit from the fact that Penn State doesn't exactly stop anybody either. So Minnesota is 17th in Big Ten in defense, and Penn State is 15th. So I mean, why isn't this total bigger? Well, again, when your pace is 359th and all you deliberately just try to clog it all up, I don't know, man. It's tough. Minnesota's going to get that boost in efficiency, a little bit of a stock boost as well. And Minnesota, decent here, at least in terms of what we like to see in terms of bench minutes used, not in the top half in bench minutes used, 286 to be exact. So when you talk about spend ups in this slate, man, like Dawson Garcia, 10K flat. No need to worry. My accountant handles that. Great matchup for Garcia. Played all 40 minutes in the last 2 games, and unless something crazy happens, we'll do that same thing here once again. Love him for cash. This is like he might be the best spend up for cash games, and obviously has the GPP upside. 50 fantasy points in the last game. So great spot for Dawson Garcia, Mike. Okay, so here's the options now. Like Dawson Garcia is the clear and obvious name on this side. Let's dig a little bit deeper now into the backcourt. Some spice out there, if you will. Some options to look at.
I like the chat right now. Darren's talking about exactly what we're about to talk about with these 3 names that we are going to spin that wheel on these Minnesota backcourt guards. So,
there you go. Yeah, plug this in real quick. Go ahead.
Lakai Patterson, 6,800. Female to college, 6,000. Mike Mitchell, 4,800. One of these guys is going 5 or 6x. One of these guys will be in every single lineup. I will probably play Dawson Garcia with one of them on half of my lineups. Maybe not half, maybe 33%. But it's kind of like pick which guard's going to go off, and Darren's kind of got it here. So I'm inclined to go with the cheaper guys, right? Because you're getting 7K Lakai, but yeah, exactly. Volleyball Main Slate gives you lemons. Yeah, you got to make some bread with it for sure, man. So, Mike Mitchell, man, kind of came to life, which is I don't want to chase, but we know his rates are really good. Not decent. They're good. 36 minutes. I need 32 plus minutes from him. I know he can easily pay off 4,800. Lakai, yeah, a little bit tougher, right? Some of that ceiling is knocked down because he's almost 7K. So Odakale is super sneaky in the large field tournament at 6K. Like he doesn't take a lot of shots, but he kind of just, if you played DFS for a while, you remember him over at Seton Hall, and then Mexico State, he's on a few slates. So if we get like him taking 10 plus shots, yeah, absolutely. You just don't know when he's going to do that. So it's kind of one of those things, man, where one of these guys is going to do it. And you really just have to spin the wheel. And I'm going to be playing more Mike Mitchell than the rest of these guys, but I'm going to have decent exposure to all three. And I love Dawson Garcia too, man. So, yeah, chat, let us know, man, who y'all like here with. You have to like these Minnesota guards. Like Penn State doesn't play a lot of defense. Yeah. They're cheap. They play all the minutes. Like you're probably going to get 30, 32 plus. Maybe Mitchell, maybe not, but Odekale and Patterson, you're going to get 35 plus minutes. Patterson might play the whole game.
Can you play multiple? Can you stack
That's
up?
That's where it gets scary. I would play him with Garcia. I wouldn't play because he just does, with Garcia, right? His usage is so crazy and his rebounding. So I would play Garcia with one of those three.
Mitchell, like the spend down here, or do you want to?
I'd play him with all three. Okay. Yeah, I'll play Dawson with all three of them. So I just prefer Mitchell because of the price tag, because you're paying $10K for Dawson,
Right.
So
yeah. Get a couple of players on this side.
He may sneaky though, dude. He's very
less
sneaky.
than $15K for a couple of players on this side that we kind of like the matchup. So yeah. You might try to work in Odekale and start there and see if you can build around it, and then go down to Mitchell, and then if it doesn't work out, So, hey, somebody pushed that button. Another person pushed that button. 1,375. Shout out to the One and Done universe for making that happen. So keep pushing those buttons. Turn on that notification bells because Mike likes to sneak in a live before lock. And if you're hanging out on some random weekday and the notification bell goes off at 4:00, like Mike's bringing the heat for the live before lock. So make sure you have the notification bells on. Michael in the chat is saying that it's Femi season. All right, playing his flag there. Good stuff. We like that here on One and Done for sure. Another stinker here, Mike. Unfortunately, when it comes to Wake Forest and North Carolina State, pardon me. Got the old.
That's how it makes you feel, huh?
Yeah, no, not that bad. Well, kind of. 132 implied points. 67 of those slotted for the Fighting Tim Duncans. The tempos don't excite me in this one. Wake does get a rebounding boost. And unfortunately, Cam Hildreth, still questionable. Nothing new out on him, I don't think. We're just sort of waiting around to see if that foot is better. Staph infection, just not great for Hildreth, but we'll see. Got to check that news and check on him. What we don't really need to check on is Hunter Salas, because we know that this is going to go through him for Wake. They haven't really had much of a choice. They just had to lean on him, and that means 38 plus minutes in 3 straight games. What you also get out of that is 33 plus fantasy points in 3 straight games. So 9,500 might be out of my price range for tournaments. I guess more of a contrarian option if you want to get different on a spend up, because you know what he can do for you. And especially another good spend up option for cash games. I think, I did dilly dally a lot more in the cash games and the double ups. And Salas is a guy that I'll probably pay up for. It feels like a lock for 32, 34 fantasy points. So who else on this side, Mike and Wake?
Do I have to?
No.
I guess the one thing is, right, I'm not interested in Spillers, Reed, Tyler Johnson. The one guy if Hildreth's out, right, it opens up minutes.
Yeah.
Duke Harris started, but then Parker Fredrickson, he's 3,400, played 30 minutes, and that was a pace-up spot against SMU, and he had 30 fantasy points. That is a complete chase. But how many guys down here under 4K do we have that are going to maybe play 25 to 30 minutes? So it's certainly appealing. This game environment is terrible, so more of a secondary type of value, man. And yeah, this game is just ugly on the whole. This NC State side, how many times have we been burned by these NC State guys? Just hoping and praying that somebody will get minutes. So I don't know, man. This game kind of stinks.
Yeah, but this is the type of play that you might have to make if you go like Dawson Garcia and Odekale, and when you're looking for that value there, like Friedrichsen at 3,400, it's a sort of a play where he's at least in the player pool if you're trying to fill out the end of your squad there. But I think the price tag just makes him. That's if he was any more than if he's in the 4,100, it's almost a scratch off there. But 3,400, I think you got to consider it. And NC State, the other side, Like Wake just plays too good a D. In fact, they are number 1 in effective field goal defense in conference play. And we can't really trust anybody on this side at all. So is there anything here that interests you?
I mean, I always talk about Jaden Taylor just for cash, right? I mean, he plays a bunch of minutes. He shoots the ball a lot. He's at home. Like, I feel like he should at least get 20 fantasy points. So
okay, cash game.
That's it, man. Honestly, pretty rough on these streets out here on this slate.
Iowa State traveling to Houston here. That is a place that I like in Texas. For whoever asked, was that Jason earlier that asked where I actually? I like Houston. You know, I like Austin. Basically, anywhere north of Waco, you can cross it off. It's okay though. We'll be all right. Iowa State's crossing that line and traveling down to Houston, and it doesn't matter who you are. I'm gonna have a hard time playing you on the road at Houston. Like, just it's not appealing at all. Anybody, much less Iowa State. They're gonna get. The line might have moved since we went live. I mean, they're probably going to get crushed in this one, Mike. And I don't know. It's tough to get into this one. Any value options, at least, that we can maybe squeeze out of this?
You know what's so annoying is that we're at Houston. We don't have to play any of these guys. And then Keyshawn Gilbert and Curtis Jones get ruled out tonight. So I think they're punting. They're basically punting this game. They say, you know what, we'll probably take this game, heal up. We're not going to get these guys beat up going and playing at Houston.
Mm-hmm. Smart, honestly.
It's kind of smart, right? Like, I mean, Momcilovic and Nate Heisey are cheap, and they're gonna play a ton. Now, 32 minutes against Houston is more like 20 minutes for anybody else. So Momcilovic is gonna play he's gonna play a lot of minutes. He's gonna take a bunch of shots. He played 31 in the last game, and still and he hasn't even topped 18 fantasy points since he's been back. So, like, now you're telling me he's at Houston. Nate Heisey at 3,600. He should get like high 20s minutes, I would assume. Demarion Watson's in that same category too. They're pretty solid for tournaments, I think. Because it wouldn't surprise me if they had 11 fantasy points. And that's not enough. Like, yeah, 3,600. You do kind of want to get to 15, 16, 17, right? Because if the mid-tier and the 7K range goes off, and they go for 4.5x, then your lineups are done. Like, unless your stud goes for like 7x. So, yeah, I mean, all these guys are in play for super dirt cheap 3,100 Demarion Watson too. Yeah, he's going to be out there for 20, 25 minutes, I would assume. Unfortunately, we're going to click the button on one of these three on every single lineup.
Is there a lease? I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. Is there a less appealing team to have an out tag against than Houston? Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, the Stars sitting, you're like, oh wow, value. No, it's Houston. They're gonna clamp you down. Period.
That's going off on this one. They got opinions in this one, Jay.
Good. I love it. Hey, let's go. Let's get to the Cougars. Let's get to Cougar High here. No, Houston 72 implied points. Iowa State playing some good defense, top 10. In defensive efficiency, but obviously down those two major pieces. Juwan Roberts, 6,900 at GPP play here. Tournament upside at the price, maybe. I mean, the rates are good. 5% combined stock rate. I like that a lot. But I don't know, man. Like, I think it's turning only there for Roberts. And on this 72 points, so just an ugly total, another 135 for the whole game. I don't know. Can you get in? Iowa State might score 45. Yeah. So that's what Belly Ball is saying in the chat. So, like, if that's the case, can you even get to anybody else on this Houston side, Mike?
Yeah, because Houston likes to play their bench whenever they blow teams out. I think Emmanuel Sharp, though, for tournaments, I'm going to have some because he played 30 minutes last game. He's a 3-and-D type guy, so high 3-point rate, high 3-point percentage, high steal rate, 25 plus fantasy point upside in this one. This is, as weird as it sounds, like this is kind of the game that matters the most on this slate, which sounds terrifying because it's what Iowa State guy gets there because they're going to be popular. They have to be. You're going to play 28 to 30 minutes at at no no price tag, essentially.
I don't know, man. Like, it's just, I hate these games, and I don't. This is going to end up being just an ass whooping. We don't have to sugarcoat this.
Cam.
Like, it is what it is. Like, it's going to be awful. There's a point, honestly.
It's true.
Right
I kind of in the same boat.
Is 3x there good enough? I mean, like, I get it. I know you're just making your point, Cam. But who knows? We're going to have to spend down. Darren agrees with you. I trust Darren's judgment.
You know what makes this uglier, Jay, is that there's not those guys at the top. Janai Broom, Kalkbrenner, right? That's what really hurts. Is like, where are those guys where if I get a 3x, 3.5x, can my two studs just go for 55 and 60? Yeah, everybody's going to be playing ISU value, Jay. You have to.
And instead of those guys, we're paying, 95 for Salas, 9,500 for Salas, or 10K for Dawson Garcia, which I don't mind that play, but I mean, that's what we're paying up for. But it's not those big name guys that you just, Janai Broom, let's give him the Zach Eaton treatment. Are we in or are we out? Like, it is what it is. So last game, let's get out of here with one more game, and then the core four. 1,376, by the way, on the subs. Keep it rolling. That's 5 brand new and fresh since we started recording. Let's keep it going. Let's get a couple more. Let's keep that ticking up, along with the invitational, one and done invitational on DraftKings, a $3 entry, pays top 5. That's filling up as we speak. So the link for that is in the live chat. I think it'll be in the description as well if you're watching later on. If you're not watching live, there it is, flash on your screen right there. It's up in the live chat, and it'll be in the link in the description as well. Last game on this one, Mike, 145 implied points, which actually feels kind of nice compared to some of the stuff that we've had to talk about tonight.
Nice.
Wow, that's nice. Pittsburgh, I like that. Pittsburgh, 74 implied points here. A boost for their bigs and a boost for hopefully a thumbs up. We haven't had too many out of Mike. 311th in bench. Oh, a double thumbs up. We got it in before the night was over. Love it. Double thumbs up. 311th in bench minutes used for Pitt. Ish like it. Another pay up here. But this is not like some of the ones I've talked about before. The ceiling, man. It's a 36 fantasy point ceiling. Why would I spend 9,700? I love Ish Leggett. I'm not spending $9,700 for him. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to click him one time, dude. Like, I don't know. It's going to be tough for me to do that.
He's 9,700 because of Miami, Jay. If you
not paying for that, I'm not.
Jalen Lowe's there at 8,700. He was 9K at one point.
Why 8,700? I mean, I know why, but
he hasn't made a shot in forever. I mean, he made a few shots the other day, but like, he's been so cold. His role is still secure. Like, he's going to play 35 minutes. I think he's kind of interesting for tournaments, sort of. Guillermo Diaz, Graham, GDG. He's 5,300. Yes and no?
Question mark?
Know what you're getting when you do this, when you click this guy's name.
Yeah.
It's either the worst DFS experience you have or it's the greatest DFS experience you have. Yeah, I'll click his name a couple of times just because, I mean, this is where you can punish Notre Dame. Like, they can't stop anybody inside. And he's inside-outside, but Kemp Warren has been fouling a lot, so I don't know. He could play 20 minutes, and I wouldn't be surprised. But he could also play 25 and smash. So, yeah, it's a little bit of low in tournaments, Jay, and maybe some GDG.
Cam calling for a Burton bounce back on the Notre Dame side here. Fighting Irish are going to get a 3-ball boost and an assist boost. What about Marcus Burton, Mike? I mean, like 9,100. At least you know the upside's there, right?
Yeah, his upside's there, and Cam, I don't mind that. Burton low, Corin. Yeah, I mean, Marcus Burton could go for 45 here. Every time he takes the floor, he has massive shot rate, massive assist rate, burned everybody. I like him. I don't mind him, especially in this total. It's not a bad total. So, He's probably the only play. It's him or bust for me. I'm not getting to really anybody else in this thing, man. So yeah, if you tell me he's 5%, I'm going to be probably 15 to 20 in tournaments for some Marcus Burton. You can run it back with an ugly play like GDG. It's tough to run it back with low, because then that means you're not playing Tanji, you're not playing Toppin. You're not playing Dawson Garcia. Like, those are the guys that are in the best spots for spin ups. So that's what makes playing Burton and and Jalen Lowe, these guys it just doesn't make it makes it tough unless you play all three Iowa State guys.
Oof. Please don't. Please don't. Or do it. And, when you win, make sure you tag us over on X at One and Done CBB. We want to see your green screens for sure. Yeah, GDG can pay it off at 5K belly ball. I agree. It's an ick factor for me. Homer Simpson choke. Yeah, the whole where your arm, it doesn't even make scientific sense that how your hands are going through the person. Like, that's how much you want it to do it. I get it, Darren, for sure. Hey, that's the 10 games. And if you've hung out with us this long, you deserve what's about to pop up on your screen. And that is the Core 4 and more. Oh no, that's Price is Right. Nope, we don't get dinged for that very spot on interpretation of the Price is Right theme.
Belly ball.
Let's get to the Core 4 here. And I'm doing the cash core. Or, if you want to also look at it from this perspective, maybe more of a safe tournament type of a play. It's sort of, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other here. But, Dawson Garcia is my favorite cash spend up, and you are spending up for him here at 10K flat. Soft matchup, it's a pace up, and he's going to be out there for every minute. So Dawson Garcia, Chucky Hepburn, 8,800, crushed FSU already on the road. So Hepburn in the cash game. Blackwell, who Cam was really high on earlier, 6,800. He's a stud, the biggest team total on the slate. Get yourself some Blackwell. And then high 3,600. No Jones, no Gilbert. He's going to play 28 minutes and have a solid role. Yes, I know it's going to be – I know I shied away from doing anything against Houston. But, again, 3,600 should play what?
I mean, I'll have to because of the context of the slate.
28 minutes?
At least.
Yeah. They
don't have any guards.
So if you do that, it's going to leave you 5.3K per player remaining, and you can still spend up a little bit and then fall back.
Fall back to another Iowa State guy.
Oh my God, who was it that hopped in earlier and talked about the stars and scrubs approach?
Yeah, that was Dimitri.
Dimitri Dash hopping in, and that may end up being what you have to do from a cash game and a tournament perspective. So how about more of that big time boomer bust tournament upside type of a play, Mike, for our core players that we sort of want to mold our lineups and start with. It's late. I'm having trouble talking. Save me, Mike. Who's the core four? Who's the core four fraternities?
Yeah, I got you. So JT Toppin, 10-4. I mean, he's just got massive upside in this spot, like massive upside. Now you're paying for it at 10-4. I think also Tanji at 9,800 has really big upside in that team total. So one of those two at the very top. I think kind of hit this middle ground here, man. Lakai Patterson or Fime, I think are interesting tournament boom bust plays. Jizzle James, I think, just with the matchup, his high assist rate and what he could do inside the paint, and TCU gives it up from two.
I wish he was priced like Odekale.
Yeah, exactly. That would be amazing. Duke Miles, Emmanuel Sharp, or Mike Mitchell sitting there in that 5.2 to 4.8 range. I have a lot of those guys in tournaments. And then, yeah, I mean, Demarion Watson or a Parker Fredrickson if Hildreth is out. You got to play – you probably have to play two Iowa State guys. So you're going to – I mean, this is leaving you with 6.1. So, you play a Momcilovic or a Heisey with these guys, and then all of a sudden, you have 7 or 8K per play. So Yeah, you're gonna be able to make some things happen. You play GDG or something. Now you can get to two maybe two 8K guys or two 9K guys. So yeah, Jay. I mean, this is like an ugly main slate. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some saving news in the morning with something else that happens, and then it changes the entire context of the slate. So we'll see.
Yeah, make sure you're following us at One and Done CBB for all the updates. As we see them and we come across them, we're trying to get stuff out to everybody as well. So One and Done CBB is where you need to find us over on X and on Blue Sky and Instagram and TikTok. Just follow them all. The content's going to start rolling. Yeah. All right. Oh, man, it's late when I'm doing Limp Bizkit stuff. Good stuff, man. Great show. These slates are like they smell like dumpster water, but they could look like a rose. You know what I mean? If you push these right buttons. And I don't mind looking at something that's real pretty. Even if it took me even if I had to dig deep into the trash to get there. And by that, I mean Mike repeatedly saying that we should find Iowa State value. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. We'll see. Hey, live chat was on fire tonight. Belly ball. Who's all in? Let's go, man. An absolute, what's the word I'm looking for here? An array of personalities, an absolute gauntlet of college basketball knowledge here. Cam, Dimitri, Isaac, Darren, Bellyball, Forklift Jeremy, Ryan, Michael, Mr. Brooks, Jason B, Peanut Butter Posse hopping in. Shout out Big Blue Nation. Mr. Larson, thanks for the Tom Brady comparison. Corey, Scott Harris, and Eric the Blue. Leon, what's up, my man? Leon hopping in late. Good to see you. Thanks for hopping in there, Leon. Always good to see you in the chat. It's always good to see everybody. It's good to see our guy at Fantasy Nav pushing those buttons behind the scenes. Eric the Blue, the MC Holland tournament tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. The One and Done Invitational. The link's in the live chat. It'll be in the description as well if you're not watching live. So go see if it's filled up. We've got a 30-slot tournament, and if we know these are going to fill, we'll make them bigger, guys. We'll make them bigger if we know that y'all will hop in there and fill those up, man. So make sure you do that. There's the link flashing on your screen. Shout out to everybody that hopped in there with us. Mike's going to be on with Dr. Roto tomorrow on Sirius XM radio channel. What,
87.
Mike? 87 at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you check him out because he is at MC Holland 34, the OG Money Mike. Yeah, there was Doc's number right there on the screen. Funny how that just flashed up at the right opportune time there as we were talking about that. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to Napier Hustle doing things behind the scenes for us at The Real Napier. MC Holland 34 at One and Done CBB. Thank you, Cam, and thanks for everybody that checked us out tonight. Gained a lot of subs tonight. We appreciate the love. We appreciate all of the comments. If you want one of those one and done avatars to shout out or to display on DK, make sure you hit us up. Shoot us a DM. Hit us up in the comments. We'll get it to you. All right. We'd love to. I finally got off of John Wall's USA basketball photo off of my DK. They finally talked me out of it. I even changed it to a one and done logo. You can too. Just let us know if you want to represent. We appreciate all of you guys. We appreciate the love. We feel it. We definitely do. So keep it coming. We'll be back when, Mike? Sunday?
Yeah, I think Sunday night.
Probably Sunday night with a nice recap show. Depending on what the Monday slate looks like, we may get after that as well. But make sure you push all those buttons so you don't miss anything that we're doing. Tell somebody that you love them. Take care of yourself. I am at Dr. William Cannon on Elon's Hellhole. I'll follow you back if you follow me. And my name is JayHeinRich. Come again. BracketBids.com. Peace.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.